Take your place, make your mark, and live your life. Because so many people are afraid to be selfish. Because there's a difference between acceptable selfishness and unacceptable selfishness. And it's up to you to determine and know the difference. The cosmos didn't bring you into this world to be average. The universe didn't bring you into this world to wake up and just pass on and die one day. To just be another person that lived or existed, what most of humanity's doing. You're still alive right now. So therefore the cosmos is not done with you. You're still here, so divinity still has a plan for your life. God, as some call it, has things in mind for you, beyond anything you could ever imagine. So let me say something right now today. Stop being so consumed in everything going on in the world outside of you. This is the reason you haven't figured out your own life yet, because you're not going within. You're worried about every blog, every website, every tweet, every Instagram post. Everything going on in the world and ignoring your own world. You can never shine living in the shadows of someone else. You can never shine sitting on somebody else's sun. You can never figure out who you're gonna be, who self is, if you're consumed in everything everybody else is. If you're worried about the moves they're making, who they're having babies by, who they went to the bar with, materialistic things, etc. There's a saying that people most commonly get indoctrinated into saying that you have to fake it until you make it, because they're too scared to face it till they make it. And most of them have been faking it for so long they're never gonna make it. Most people have been faking it so long they now believe their own tricks. Been faking it so long they now been living a lie for so long they believe their own lies. Because they're trying to chase someone else's life, someone else's lifestyle, identity, while ignoring their own self, their own path, ignoring what the cosmos has in store for them. What is your vision for your life, your ideas, your dreams? What are you supposed to be doing? Who are you? Who are your gifts, your talents you can bring to the table? What is your ultimate destiny and your ultimate goals? The universe will never give you something somebody else is supposed to have. Let me repeat that. The cosmos will never give you something somebody else is supposed to have. So while you're consumed and focused on somebody else's career, how much they got in their bank account, their moves, their blessings, their opportunities, you're not focused on your own career, your own path. It's getting pushed in the back seat, the mirror. But the cosmos didn't bring you into this world to be focused on what everybody else is doing. To be focused on TikToks, WAP videos, sporting events. You know how many people in the world are out here stressed out, emotionally confused, have no leaders, have no one to look up to, no sense of direction? You know how many of these people are little boys and girls? Nobody's showing up to make a difference in their life. When that regular person that can show up and make a difference could be you. Maybe their parents are on drugs or abusive, spiritually, emotionally, etc. Maybe you're in a bad relationship or just down with no sense of direction. You see, it's easy for us to become victims of our environment and those that surround us. But our youth and our young generation are growing up amongst demons and wolves. And if you're growing up amongst demons and wolves, more than likely, they'll become one. And I'm saying to the world right now, today, wake up wanting to be the change that you want to see in the day. Loving yourself enough that you want to commit yourself to you, your higher self, saying you're selfish. The word selfish starts with self. I cannot take care of anybody else, the world, the problems that we face today if I'm not taking care of myself. People are so consumed about everything outside of themselves, though, others, instead of living their life, making their mark, walking their path. Don't be consumed in everybody else's thoughts, their intentions for you. Make your mark. Live your life. You're not supposed to be another person that just lived and died, that didn't do anything significant. These girls, these parties, these clubs, the popping bottles and drinking and smoking and whatever ain't going nowhere. Get in your mind. Read your books. Take care of yourself. Cut out frivolous, nonsensical spending. Stay at home, study. Think and grow rich. Richest Man in Babylon, The Alchemist, a few books you can read. Clean up your social medias. Buy assets, sit them, stack on them, forget them, and change your life. And you can be the first one in your family to graduate towards their higher self, unlocking their third eye, their pineal gland, their 33rd degree. Don't lose your focus. You got a vision, an idea for yourself. You got a genius idea in your genius mindset that's growing and orchestrating and building like a pregnancy. And it's going to give birth one day. Some ideas come out quick, some take a little longer to mold and shape and develop in your mind. See, it's always going to be you that gets you where you want to be. No one else. Your friends, your family will be the first ones that talk you out of your idea, your big vision. That's why you're supposed to live your life focused on your intentions, doing your thing, putting in the work, hustling, grinding. If I would have paid attention to what people thought I was going to do in life, who they thought I was, etc., I wouldn't be where I am today. Well on my way. I am rich. I am successful. I am wealthy. I am anything I say behind I am. The two greatest words in the universe. The most powerful words in the universe. I'm on my way to the new levels that are on the way. I'm leveling up each and every day out here in this matrix. Because I'm so bold and specific with my vision and my intentions, even if someone tried, they can't get me off my path. And that makes people uncomfortable around me. Agent Smiths pop out of nowhere wanting to stop me. When that Neo was the one, it was that we all have a one within, a world where anything is possible. You think I'm gonna let an Agent Smith stop me? Anyone that can see the impossible can do the impossible. Anyone that can see the unreal can see what is gonna one day be there. That means you have these bold, uncomfortable visions and intentions and ideas, and you're gonna have all these Agent Smiths and random people and things popping up in random forms trying to knock you off your path. If you get knocked down, get back up. Because you're so convinced that this is what you're supposed to do. That this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is where you're supposed to be. You're so convinced that this is what it is. And you drive crazy. You drive people crazy around you. Because their goal is to distract you. Don't get distracted, lost, broken, and confused. I encourage you to go to your mind and build that craft, that skill, so you can get to your outcome. Because all that partying, that nonsense, it ain't going nowhere. Every multi-millionaire, every multi-billionaire in the world that is living on the top, they decided they was going to be selfish, commit themselves, to their career, to their visions, to their goals, to their outcome. And they did the work. No parties, no nonsense. You're gonna get called names. You're gonna be misunderstood. You're gonna get laughed at, mocked, humiliated, whatever. That's the lack mindset. But the one doing the work, grinding, hustling, is the characteristic of a champion, a legend, a pioneer, someone that decided they were gonna create a shift in the universe, and they never quit. See, what you believe in your hearts and speak in your minds will eventually become your words and your reality. And what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset. And what gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset becomes an unconscious action and an unconscious activity. And I've always just wanted mine to be guideful, helpful, and nurturing to others. So sending you all much love and high vibrations out to wherever you are in this matrix. And I wanted to pick self this week as a topic to discuss because I believe as humans, sometimes we struggle with the difference between higher self and identity self, what we've been indoctrinated into believing. Show me your ID, please. Identity politics. I'm white, I'm black, I'm going to socialize and, identify myself as I'm a liberal, I'm gay, I'm whatever. You know what I'm saying? Identity politics. And I believe what gets us away from all this identity politics and into our higher self, knowing what self is, knowing thyself is simply being selfish. Don't freak out though. Let me explain this definition, because words have meaning, therefore they have definition of selfish. And share the promotion of what the term truly means to me. Not the standard narrative and definition most have been indoctrinated into believing. This demonized term, that this negative connotation that we've turned selfishness into. So before I speak on selfish or selfless, I'll speak on self again real quick. See, the self has an upgrading protocol towards its higher self that's always looking down on us, not to fight, not to control, not to be right. It's an upgrading protocol designed to prevent us from becoming selfless, because there is no self when we are selfless. Can I get a hello? There are a ton of people operating in the world right now today in a state of selflessness, and I am not going to be one of them. My mind, my brain is not easy to brainwash and manipulate. That's the mindset of the herd, of the cattle. I'm not cattle. But when we expand and become enlightened to what the truest form and definition of being selfish is, when we unlock something called compassion, that is where things get truly remarkable and tend to get advanced for a true alchemist. Because when you're then able to act out of a place where you're selfish with inside your own compassion, you're then able to astro project yourself into another human being and feel what it is that they feel, like an empath. That's the point where we are able to step out of being so self-centered, that indoctrinated selfishness, and caught up in our own reality, the controller, and we're just simply able to play the game, Ready Player One, in a real player experience, living out of a state of compassion, love, and gratitude. See, we have a code. We have a vibrational frequency. We have an intuition, and we have a truth. And what we must learn along our journey towards mastery and becoming the alchemist, the avatar, is that initiates and beginners struggle with belief in self. Now, how do I walk in the footsteps of what Coach is telling me and what he means by saying this? Well, you have to embody your truth, yourself. You need to live your truth, not in fear and judgment of others. See, I must walk in the steps of divinity. I must be true to myself and my higher self, and not wander astray or worry about anything or anyone thinks of me, because I need to maintain belief in myself. I'll trust anyone pioneers, everyone pioneers, but I'll only believe in myself. And by trusting everyone else and believing in myself, what it creates for others is opportunity to do better and succeed by leading by example. It's an opportunity for them to get in touch and in tune with their higher self. So by tapping into my selfishness, I'm able to share this with you all. Because when I do, I know that what I'm doing is always operating out of a state of love, gratitude, and abundance for others, not myself. The mode I operate on is so fierce, critical, and important because I have no intention to control, manipulate, or deceive others. I am solely acting because it is my purpose and my sole desire, and I must do so. And when you're vibrating on that level and that frequency and that intuition and that vibration, how could you ever be wrong? How could you ever be harming to others when you're truly just being selfish? And I know a lot of you are thinking, what does this have to do with money, John? It has everything to do with money. Because of self. You are a millionaire, scratch that. You are billionaires, pioneers, scratch that. You are multi-trillionaires and quadrillionaires. But the first thing you need to realize is money is your thoughts. Your thoughts are your money. When you learn this, you start to look at the way you spend your thoughts differently. And you stop spending your thoughts and you start investing them. Can I get a hello? Again, thoughts are money, and your mind is your most valuable asset. Thoughts are your electricity that perpetuate your body to act. Your entire action is created by your thoughts. Adding monetary flow and movement to your everything, your nature, your body. So if you're unaware your thoughts could have value, how could you ever become wealthy? How could you ever become rich? Because all rich is realizing I create happiness. And we know when Bitcoin was at $57,000, everyone was real happy. They thought that made them happy instead of going within and, making themselves happy. Loving those around them and what they already have in life. They were wanting to FOMO in and buy Bitcoin because Elon Musk was accepting it on his balance sheets, you guys. The news was talking about it. Twitter, the crypto space was going wild. But at 20K, 17.5, everyone's running for the hills. They're emotionally distracted and distraught, worrying about any and everything, instead of going within and developing their own craft and skill and thesis, and building themselves. Which is why 1% of the population owns 99% of the fucking wealth. It's always been this way. It will not change until humans change and break the fucking cycle. So if you understand the game, then you can't be played, and the game is this. What we are about to witness is one of, if not the biggest financial collapses in his story, because it'll be controlled, manipulated, and all by design. Because the world is a stage and it's all planned out. Slow, methodical plans throughout 50 plus years. And this one started in 1971. We're going to see the stock market crash at the end of the year, probably first quarter next year. And we're going to possibly see cryptocurrency get a relief between now and then possibly set a lower low by the end of the year or first quarter next year, like history has shown us throughout time. And if we are ready for this mentally, physically, spiritually, then we can change our whole family's timeline. Wealth is created systematically. That is never going to change. My concern is, are you going to change? Are you going to become a pioneer? Are you going to learn? Are you going to want to evolve and set your families up to eat fruit in the future? I wanted in my work to apply metaphysics, numerology, gematria, astrology, ancient astrological teachings from an ancient prehistoric world, facts, figures, numbers, logic, and sometimes just fucking common sense in a whole new way. I wanted to learn this knowledge and wisdom and gnosis so that I could then use it and apply it, allowing me in the end to become successful from it, so that I could then share my work with the world one day. And that's what I have always been meant to do, I've decoded myself using numerology, gematria, my birth date, my name, what I chose the Pioneer Academy and Daily Candle Close News to be by its name. And it's amazing how it matches up, and I'll share that with you all one day. But we know it's an interesting time in finance and geopolitical and just this cycle of life. And as you all are aware, something I've shared with you all is we're approaching Rosh Hashanah again, and the end of the Jewish Hebrew New Year, the 7-year sabbatical, Shemitah, and release cycle in Judaism, the Sabbath of the land, again, the earth that we live on. And this is all a very important time period that we've talked about, and we're leading into this. And all the theatrics and energy and the nonsense that we see on the world stage and in the markets has everything to do with this 7-year sabbatical cycle. And as we're going to watch this come and go, we're going to be on the cusp of something even bigger as we move into September and late October, when we get the eclipses, the double eclipse period in October and early November. We're going to be one of the few people that are focused on this, calm about what we may see, so we can navigate any chaos that we may see. And this is exactly the time where we need to start building ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially, because we don't want to be prepared. Because we may see big headlines and news on the world stage, social media, etc., in the markets, wanting you to think whatever it is they want you to believe and are telling you, when usually it's always the opposite. Everything popular is usually wrong, or usually the opposite. And this is the time where we're in the most boring, most flooded, most fear, uncertainty, and doubt moment in the Shemitah we can be, right before the end, where release comes. Again, Shemitah meaning release in Hebrew. So as we approach this time frame, August, September, transitioning into October, we're going to see a lot of things just popping out of nowhere, getting you distracted, lost, broken, and confused. It can be about the Federal Reserve or geopolitically, inflation, whatever. The whole world going through turmoil, war, etc. Another virus outbreak that they say will mutate to your brain. Monkeypox is already getting declared a world emergency, so we see lots of theatrics going on. And it's best we do our best to disregard nonsense and go inside and find our truth. So focusing on our investment thesis right now and developing our mindset, taking action on things that we want to see take place, is where we're going to provide utility to the wisdom and knowledge we're gathering here. And we're able to then maybe take away something and be successful in the end, instead of losing all of our energy to social media and the news and sporting events and walk videos and nonsense, going to the bar on the weekends. There's always an opportunity for us to be successful and create order out of any chaos we see. Never let a good crisis go to waste. And as long as you're doing it from a state of neutrality, love, abundance, and you're not making bad decisions because of the emotional side of things, then you're winning. Okay? But these apex predators need your love. They need your energy. They create emotional responses out of fear, problem, reaction, solution, the Hegelian dialectic. And when you start to decode these things that we see, this is where you can start to analyze it as a tool to building your success, instead of a tool being built and used against you as a weapon, whether you're wielding that tool or someone else. So these words I'm giving you are words of wisdom far in advance, as we get ready to see the end of the year possibly play out historically, bringing lower lows in the cryptocurrency and stock market, causing financial turmoil and economic turmoil, geopolitical turmoil all over the world. And because we have the base knowledge and understanding and the ability to decode, we can get ourselves emotionally prepared, spiritually prepared, financially prepared, mentally prepared, physically prepared in advance. So when the opportunity comes, we can take the opportunity. And that's what separates the boys and girls from the men and women, the legends from the champions from the legends, mediocrity from greatness. And every time we have one of these cyclical crashes or one of these cyclical war narratives or something take place like 9/11, etc., or 2008, the housing market crisis, or going back to 1944 in the Bretton Woods Conference, or 1971 in the Nixon shock, whatever it is, we're not distracted. We know what's going on. We know the game, so we can't play. We know it's opportunity. And people who have a very emotional, reactive character, they don't get to take these opportunities. They don't focus. They don't strike. They get even more worried and even more fearful. And that is not a pioneer here on the Daily Candle Close News, someone that's been a part of this journey for a while now. You know, I prefer to be calm, cool, collective in my delivery. And I try and share things outside the box in an approach that no one else is doing, so that we can view things clearer. Because with clarity, we can see everything happening around us with a 30,000-foot overview. It's just perception. It's just optics. Military operations. Okay? Psychological operations. So just like the .com bubble or whatever, we're going to use this upcoming possible opportunity as a time to build ourselves up for the future. You know, so that we don't get lost in the next ritual, cyber pandemic, alien invasion, whatever. The way these Shemitahs go, it's multifaceted, and it's not just about economics. It's about geopolitical war and land and, you know, whatever. And they're not just going to do everything with a market crash. There's going to be reason with how they get away with what we're going to see. And if you're unaware of what's to come, then go back and watch some of the work that we've done for over 2 years now. Because you don't want to be somebody that's blaming the next event on a virus or a war narrative and an invasion, whatever. Gas shortages, baby shortages for formula, etc. You know, you're able to see through and navigate the extreme fear and nonsense moments as blood in the streets, some would say. You know, it's a moment for the pioneers to get hungry and accumulate and build themselves. So not just financial advice, but mindset, physical, spirituality advice as well today. You know, I'd like to be known for that as the cornerstone, the capstone of my work. You know, mindset is always something that would change the game for anybody that's wanting to be better, to better themselves. So if you're somebody stuck in your career path or running your business, or a parent to somebody, a friend to somebody, a mentor to somebody, a coach to somebody, you need to think in opposite of the masses. And that's where you can see things outside the box in a 30,000-foot overview. I'm not telling somebody to be a pioneer for no reason. The reason is because you know how to be you. You know how to decode. You got the eye to see. You don't let somebody else dictate your life. You don't just become a pioneer for no reason. Because that's another form of ignorance, just wanting to be the follower. You're not cattle. You know? I speak to the ears of leadership, and anyone that takes a message that I say and resonates with it, that means you're a leader. And that was the most effective way probably to kick off this podcast and kick off the tone for the rest of the year as we get close to this historical event and time period of the 7-year sabbatical cycle that we're going to see play out. You know, bringing everybody together as a collective and a whole. Within our small channel here on the Daily Candle Close News, we can try to remember everything that we've taught here to empower each other, keep each other positive. If they're going through something, we can be a shoulder for them to cry on. Some people might have an aspect of their life that's going really well. Some people probably don't even have that. And as a family, we're here to help, lend a helping hand in any way we can. But it always comes back to mindset and knowing thyself. And when you change the way you view this world, this reality, this matrix, and you change the way you perceive the mind, and you use neuroplasticity, the ability to rewrite your home programming, this is where a paradigm shift comes. So don't get lost, broken, distracted, and confused. And it's definitely not all about us and you. You know, we just have the opportunity to bring people in to learning who they truly are. You know, to share with them things that will make you really think. And that's really the beauty of what we have going on here. So with all that being said, we'll go ahead and get straight into the markets. We know cryptocurrency has lately been holding the 200 simple moving average on the weekly time frame. And that is so very important. Every day we need to wake up and continue to pay attention to this every day until the Sunday close comes in. We've been back above, going on almost 3 weeks now, what we've been in, what is considered to be the bottom signal for 13 years now for cryptocurrency. First time we ever had multiple closes below this. So if this holds, very bullish for Bitcoin. If we were to lose this level, short the crap out of it, possibly not financial advice, because we could go back down to $19,000 for cryptocurrency, that psychological $20,000 range. So not surprising. So if we see a signal break and we lose a level, we're going to want to flip our bias, okay? Not financial advice, but if we break this back down lower on the smaller time frame, the daily time frame, we still see that the Bitcoin bulls are holding this parabolic parabola and price rise. If we don't break this to the downside, then we don't need to worry about that on the daily time frame, okay? Because that's when we would want to pay attention to a trend reversal and short in the market if we were to break this parabola. Not financial advice, it's just one indicator, right? It's just a line. We're not trying to predict, but we go long, or potentially you already have them open because we posted them. But if you're you're continuing in them longs, you're continuing long, or you want to go long towards 28K if you're not now, not financial advice, or obviously post a short if we break this. So not surprising, but one thing in a day we talked about recently was August 5th, a day that added up to 55 in numerology. Satoshi Nakamoto gives us that 55. God, Satan, timekeeper, predestination, 55. Some very important things. So August 5th was a very important day to watch out for, and we saw that day close a high of $322. So the 322, skull and bones. Not surprising, our favorite lizard pals that we share with you all. So this day that we prepared you for was the pivot and the opportunity for the bulls to reclaim the momentum that we needed to continue higher. And we talked about that in our last video. That led into the high we got on August 8th. So again, this August 4th leading into August 5th, where we saw the bulls reclaim this 223 exponential moving average, and this heart line of our bear flag was a key range that I was preparing all of my pioneers for, because if we would have saw a retest of this level and a rejection, we knew what was possible to come was this $21,500 range, the bottom side, a possible higher low. And if you're missing these moves, I can help you. I've really been trying to break this down on a smaller time frame and a broad view on all kinds of time frames and in different, outside the box views for all my pioneers to share with them how this market really works. So if you're looking how to trade, pay attention to the work that we've been doing here. But again, we broke back above the $22,700 range that we knew was important. We came back and retested the heart line, almost got to the 223 exponential moving average, and then had a continuation up until August 8th, yesterday, which we know was 8.2% up from this $22,300 range, the skull and bones. Okay, not surprising. 8.2% up. That's the mirror of 2.8 or 28 and 82, tying us into August 8th, where we saw this reversal come in on the 2-hour time frame. The 2 8s, 8-8, the Lion's Gate portal that we prepared you all for. So not surprising that we see an 8.2% increase in price, and then a fall to come back and retest the 223 exponential moving average and keep every 2-hour candle in a bottoming structure so far above the heart line in the 223. So undeniable how important these ranges and moving averages can be. If this holds, we can still be in an uptrend, holding higher highs and higher lows. Still technically a bear flag and possibly a bearish pattern, but if we break out, we can still see a much higher price for Bitcoin, 28, 30, 33K. Not trying to predict, just sharing with you all the levels that we know with technical analysis could be in the cards, okay? And seeing support above this 223 exponential moving average on the 2-hour time frame is very important. Something we hadn't done over the last few months, dating back all the way to April, you guys. So very important. We don't want a low below here. If we get a low below here, that's going to be very bearish, and we'll break that down later. So as long as we continue to set higher highs and higher lows, we're going to be in this uptrend that I shared. So price action moves in waves: impulsive wave, corrective wave, impulsive wave, corrective wave, impulsive wave, corrective wave. So not surprising that we continue to see this up and down, and this bearish energy coming in a few days right now before the full moon is something we teach and share with you all here. Excuse me, let me get a drink of water. So I got something important I want to share with you all about 8/8, yesterday, August 8th, and its connection not only towards Rosh Hashanah being 7 weeks, which is, the 7-year sabbatical cycle, and the end of the Shemitah on 9/26 and 9/27. Okay, so again, we're in the 7-year cycle. This is just an important connection there, not only being 7 weeks, but 49 days away, which is 7 times 7, the square root of 7. Okay, and we get 49 in Judaism when we type out Judaism. So again, this is practiced in the Jewish Hebrew culture. This day adds up to 77 in numerology. This is all very and exoteric, and what I wanted to bring up was not only is this the 220th day of the year, but this day adds up to, in numerology, to 58. And this 8/8 day, this 28, or the 2 8s, the 2 analimas, the 2 toroidal fields, the 2 infinity symbols, the 2 Mobius strips, however you want to view that. This is all important because this 58 ties us into Genghis Khan, you guys, giving us that same 58. And we know Genghis Khan, is always viewed as this savage to people today because most people today are fucking stupid, okay? But Genghis Khan was so much more than a conqueror. He expanded the Silk Road, invented the first postal service system. He even created a kind of Froto credit card, and the entire world's financial system was built upon trade. And Genghis Khan is one of the most important people to symbolize finances with, being, the puppet master possibly of finance, the pseudonym that they give us. Whether or not he was real or not, whatever, you can just go and do your due diligence behind this man and how the elite worship this character, right? So very important. We get this 58 in 8/8, the day we recently saw our 2-hour microcycle top come in in the short term, possibly setting our first lower high in structure. This low high right here is even lower than our second previous high. So that's very important that we pay attention to this. I'm still bullish because we're holding some important levels and indicators. But anyways, getting back into this Genghis Khan, puppet master of the financial system right here. See how financial system and puppet master has matching numerology. But Genghis Khan giving us that 103 that we get in Mercury, tying us into the god of commerce. Okay, Mercury giving us this 23, tying us into the same 23 we get when we type out Bitcoin in the same cipher, the Chaldean cipher. We get the 23, or the 2 3s, the 33. Mercury is the god of commerce. Genghis Khan is tied to the financial system and commerce. Okay, so very important that we pay attention to this exo and esoterically. So this date, August 8th, that I was able to prepare you all for was something that I saw in advance. We see these multiple 22s. 8 plus 8 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2 is 22. 8 plus 8 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2 is 22. Anyways, we got 22 connections here with the 220th day of the year. We could have had fun with that. A little bit of a portal energy, and it's all because of this 22. Adding a lot of confluence to this because it's a reset. Okay, we know that 22. Recycle, that 22, and it is a change. 22 is a number for pivot of energy, the master builder, master destroyer number. So if you notice lately in the work that we've been doing here with numerology, gematria, astrology, exoteric symbolism, etc., we haven't been using it to be pointing anything massive out. It's just about using dates and sharing the code and being very clear with how we share it. Meaning, we're not trying to dramatically overlook, or, what am I trying to say? We're not trying to dramatically dilute the code. Okay, we're not trying to expect something crazy to be happening. Right now, there's low volume in the market, so it's going to be a slow consolidation, burn and turn period. Okay, so using the numerology, gematria, the lunar cycles, etc., the code that we talk about, it's really able to allow us to view the accuracy of this market within 1 to 2 or 3 days of this market. I mean, even this low on July 13th, the full moon, came in pitch perfect on the day. This new moon was just a few days off. For over a year now, the lunar cycles have been almost perfect. But these other indicators and these predictions, so some would say, I'm really just using it as a code, an algorithmic play out in advance, being able to view through the eyes of the elite, while some are able to, they just some they're not able to view it like that. They get too emotional and distracted and lost and confused, and they don't play the game. They let the game play them, and I just really want people to learn, not follow, learn. Definitely don't care about followers. No true leader wants followers, you guys. And if that's what a leader wants, then that's a cult, a type of energy I don't personally resonate with and is not wanted here and welcome here. I want people becoming amazing and doing this better than me, seeing what I'm missing. And greatness comes with personal responsibility and taking action, becoming the master that was once the student. And that is really what I want to see with my work here and what I do. I don't want people following them. I want them following me. I want them leading. We all have a coach and a mentor in this process, and it's not about following them. It's about paying attention to the wisdom that they're sharing, the knowledge that they're sharing, and resonating what resonates with you and applying it to your life. And that's what I'm trying to do here. When it comes to the realm of predicting or realm of looking forward into time with this code here. And I decided to not go the route of following, and I know what it does, I know what it creates, and it brings this feeling of success and then failure, etc., and just ups and downs, this roller coaster ride. And I don't care about success and failure. I care about people taking away something from this and then doing it better and applying it to their life, and becoming their best self. And maybe that's just my vibe, and I'm built different, and from a cloth that they don't even make anymore. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get back into the cryptocurrency and technical analysis. But I've really been on this different type of level and vibe lately. But we know this new moon that we're about to have is probably going to be the retest. If we're able to see this break lower than our heart line, our 223 exponential moving average in this 227, $22,700 range. And it's going to be important. What if we were to get another pivot, or a change in direction, a trend reversal? Could this be as low as we pull down? Yes, we could continue to see this climb up towards 24K again, get back above this $23,700 range that we keep getting stopped out at and failed to hold support, or we can get a push up and get rejected before coming back down over the next few days. We'll just have to continue to see how this plays out. But where is the pivot going to be, the time frame? And it's going to be the 10th into the 12th. And that might be a time where we actually do back test this level that we've recently talked about, still setting a higher low in time if we were to hold 21.5, the bottom side of this bear flag. Okay, so again, let me explain. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low. The last higher low in structure. It's an official higher low because we made a new high after our prior higher higher. High, higher high, high, higher high. Uptrend like we've talked about. Very simple but effective. Alright? The current low to hold is right here at around 20,700. Okay? So once we broke into a new high from a previous high, we can scratch this low off. We don't have to focus on this time period no more. other than until we get a break in structure and trend reversal. So this tells me that this is perhaps a level that we might come down into coming into the full moon, okay? August 11th and 12th. We know it's typically a bearish microstructure bottom for the markets, okay? We know how important the 21st, 22nd is, roughly 10 days after this. So we can still see bearish energy up to 3 to 5 days after, and it wouldn't be uncommon to see bearish energy all the way up until close to the end of the month, the last week of the month, heading into September, National Preparedness Month. So very important. So this 22K range, psychologically, $22,003, who knows? We could see some hold of support right here at around this range and not come all the way down. And still fulfill setting a higher low in structure. So that'd be something to pay attention to. But again, right now, main support is the 223 exponential moving average. The Bollinger Bands, we're starting to open up and widen. We don't want to see these widen and break down. But there's no perfect way to see what's going to happen. The 8 crossing the 55 simple moving average, this is bearish. So coming down to this level of 22,700 again, this 22,300 is not at the cards. If we were to fail to break support of both of these in the heart line. All right, we'll go ahead and take a look at our other exponential moving averages. And right now we're holding support of not only the 200 simple, but the 200 exponential, the 223 exponential, the heart line, and we're battling to get back above this 111 exponential moving average. The 8, if we can get a bounce off of this and reclaim this, we can continue to see this exponential moving average ribbon, the 8, 13, 21, 34, and 55, get back into bullish posture. Right now, the 8 and 13 are below the 21 and the 34 and the 55. And that's not good, you guys. That's pretty bearish. But we can see this reverse with a price action push to the upside out of nowhere on any given time frame. A good push 4 to 8% up for Bitcoin in any given daily time frame could help react and make these indicators bounce, because we know they are lagging indicators. They lag to the price action. So still, again, a low volume time period right now, and definitely something we want to keep an eye on, is just any kind of volume to start coming in and showing us an uptrend. Right now we're just in a downtrend over the last several 2-hour candles. So boom. All right. So got a lot of checks bullish right now, you guys. Not really anything bearish to pay attention to right now. On the 2-hour time frame, looking really good. In the daily time frame, we're still holding support right there at roughly that 22,700. So very important. We definitely want to break this 23,000, 24,000 psychological range and hold daily candle support above 24,000. That would show us continuation to the upside, especially when we look at things like the Bollinger Bands. That's right there at around 24,200. We could definitely get up here and push up to the top side of this, as long as we hold support of the median of this bear flag and this median of the Bollinger Bands. So very important. All right, some esoteric moving averages. The 322, we know we look at the 223 a lot, but the 322 is sitting right there at around 25K. So very important. Let's look at that on the 2-hour time frame really quick. There are some other ones that I have pulled up as well. Let's change that real quick. We'll hide that, and that. So yeah, this the blue is the 322. And we definitely have just seen recently this 223 flip the 322. And when we tend to see that going back in time, when the 322 gets below the 223, it's bullish. So when this blue is above the yellow, that's kind of a bearish sign. Now that the yellow's got back above the blue, it's kind of a good sign. When we look back in time and view the data that these two indicators give, the 322 and the 223, both exponential moving average, as above so below the skull and bones. So just go back in time, look at that. These EMAs were recently in a bearish posture, and now they're in a bullish posture. We know what happens as they were in a bearish posture for months. We were in a downtrend. So this is telling me that this level right now in the short term has a lot more confidence as being a short-term bottoming in structure. Anything can happen, and we can fail to see these, indicators hold and this yellow go back below the blue. But let's just see what plays out. This 223 and 322 is really valuable, and I hope this shows people how simple TA can be by just applying some of these protocols. I know it might be complicated to brand new people, etc., and I kind of seem like I fly through this, but my work is, over time been very detailed in explaining a lot of this. You just gotta bear with my deliverance. I'm not the best, I'm shy, I make mistakes, etc. But I'm here for you to help you develop a craft and skill that you can win by using. So we're still in an uptrend, but not like a new all-time high, like I said in my last video. That's a little too much to be asking for right now. But when we zoom out, we do see a possibility to see an opportunity to push up towards some of these trading ranges towards the end of the Shemitah before seeing a push back down to either double bottom or even go even lower. We know what, like I've talked about, the Shemitah and history shows throughout time. It brings a pretty dramatic time period for finance, economics, geopolitical tension, etc. So even in this bear flag, this is all still possible. 28, 29K, 30K. And that's going to align with the breakout to the upside if we were to do the target pulls using technical analysis. And we would have a breakout target to the downside back to 181, or roughly, that 16,100, the golden ratio of Phi. So it's just something we're going to have to continue to pay attention to. No matter what happens, with the mindset and skill that we're building, we're going to know what to do. We're going to know to de-risk if we see a euphoric price rally, and we're going to know to accumulate if we get a dip. So let's take a look at Ethereum real quick and look at some of the things that we've been noticing. And that's, we've continued to, move up. Still holding support above the 223 exponential moving average where we started our rally towards that 173 range. Our next range is at 223. This 22,000 $2,203. So very important. We'll pay attention to this range, 2203, right there. So let's see, that's my next range that I think we could potentially move up to, maybe that 2150, 22 psychological in the 2022 year. We're just going to have to continue to see what happens. Right now we're still in an uptrend for Ethereum, so not much more to talk about. XRP is still looking to reclaim this 36 cent level, this 36.8 where I had it drawn at. It still held 36 cent as a low, so very important. Right now we failed to hold 223 exponential moving average as support, and we bounced in a V-bottom recovery right back above it, and above my 36.8 range that I've had for quite some time, where we've been seeing resistance and failed support at. So very important. We're going to continue to see if this can climb on up towards that 42, 44 cents, as high as 47 and possibly even 51 cents for XRP in the near distant future. So paying attention to this 223 exponential moving average, the 322, that's where we got our bounce from. So as above, so below, you guys. Not surprising. It's amazing to watch this play out. VeChain is a cryptocurrency. We've been using this exponential moving average to take advantage of great opportunities by using Bitcoin as well as the signal and indication of which way cryptocurrencies are going to move. Bitcoin dominance as well, the US dollar index, all things we've shared in the past. So taking advantage of these dip opportunities for VeChain and then de-risking and then taking advantage again and de-risking again, we're just waiting for our next great opportunity to take advantage of VeChain, whether that's looking and viewing the MACD or the RSI or just simply viewing these simple 223 and 322 exponential moving averages. Look at where our tops were coming in for VeChain using the 322 exponential moving average. Okay, so very important. That's where some recent tops were coming in, going back in time. Now let's see if we come back to retest these moving averages just like we've been doing in other cryptocurrencies. Zilliqa has came back and held support of the 223 exponential moving averages. You don't say. You know, not surprising. The 322 exponential moving average is where we wicked all the way down to before getting bought right back up and holding support above the 223 exponential moving average. What about ADA and Cardano? Well, what do you know? The same thing, you guys. Hedera Hashgraph and HBAR is just going euphoric off of the 223 exponential moving average, held multiple wicks of the 322. Not surprising. Use these indicators, change your life, take advantage, learn a crafting skill that can allow you to eat fruit in the future. Chainlink, what do you know, you guys? It's been going ham since it got above the 223 exponential moving average, hit a crown distributional, came back retested, had a bounce, an almost retest, and been boom towards the upside since. Undeniable how important the 223 exponential moving average is, as well as the 322 going back in time for Chainlink. Undeniable, and all these other cryptocurrencies. But we're not done yet. What's XLM been doing? It's been bouncing since it fell below both of these in a very bottom V-shaped recovery on the 2-hour time frame to a new high on August 8th. Why is that important? The 8-8, okay? Not surprising. XLM's high was right there around 88 cents, you guys. And then we came back to almost retest both of these exponential and exponential moving averages. Polkadot, same thing, has been going ham since a retest of the 223. Algorand, what is it doing? Hanging out right there, you guys. So use this skill and craft that we're teaching here around the number one elite number and thing on the world stage that everybody else is going to overlook. 322 and 223, skull and bones, alchemy, as above so below. Change and manifest your own physical reality by learning how to trade and better yourself in the future for your family and their outcome. Not financial advice, you guys. Just been having fun in this video. Just really been working on self, you guys. That's always been my biggest thing. So take care and God bless. We'll leave this one here. Pioneers rise. Build your fortress and build your legacy.